Life often moves quietly, shaping us in moments that at first seem small, moments that whisper, not shout, yet change everything. This story is about one of those quiet transformations, a young woman learning to live again after loss, learning to speak when silence becomes too heavy. Emma Reed stepped into the kitchen the same way she had every morning for 6 months. Slow, unsure, almost afraid of the silence waiting inside. The house felt too large now, every room too full of memories. The chair where her mother used to sit seemed to stare at her like a question she could not answer. She boiled water for tea, the steam rising in soft curls. She whispered, "I'm trying, Mom." The silence answered with its familiar heaviness. Her father was away for work again. He traveled constantly now, burying himself in schedules and airports, trying to cope in his own way. But Emma stayed. She returned to the house after her mother's funeral because she didn't know where else to go. Some mornings she felt strong. Other mornings, like this one, she felt the weight of every unspoken word. Emma worked at Larkwell Public Library, a quiet brick building near the river. Books were comforting. They didn't need anything from her. They didn't ask why she felt tired. They didn't ask how she was coping. She spent her days shelving returned books, helping children find storybooks, and reminding old men to return newspapers to the rack. It was safe, predictable. Then, while organizing the classics section, something strange happened. A small notebook fell from between two heavy volumes. Its cover was familiar, blue with tiny white flowers, her mother's favorite pattern. Emma's hands froze. She opened the notebook. Inside, written in her mother's handwriting, were the words, "My dear Emma, if you are reading this, it means life has taken you to a place where my voice can no longer reach you." Emma closed the notebook quickly. Her breath trembled. She placed it gently in her bag and finished her work in silence. That night, she didn't read it. She placed it on the dining table beside her mother's empty chair. The following morning, while walking to the library, Emma noticed an older man sketching on a bench. He wore a bright blue scarf and had a kind, gentle face. "Good morning," he said, looking up with warm eyes. She hesitated, then nodded. "Good morning. You work at the library, don't you?" "Yes." "I've seen you walking this path for many years," he said. "Your mother used to join you sometimes." Emma stopped. Her heart tightened. "You knew her?" "Yes. She had a way of making people feel seen." His words softened something inside her. He closed his sketchbook. Sometimes the people we lose leave pieces of themselves behind, little pieces that help us keep going. Emma looked away, blinking fast. Maybe. That evening, Emma finally opened the notebook again. Her mother's writing flowed across the page like a voice she had been starving to hear. "My dear Emma, you have always carried the sunlight inside you, even when you couldn't see it. Life will hurt sometimes, but don't let silence swallow your heart." Emma read until her vision blurred. Every sentence felt like a hand reaching out from the past. Her mother wrote about small memories, late-night hot chocolate, garden picnics, stories they made up together. Then came a paragraph that struck deep. You must speak your pain, Emma. Silence is a burden too heavy for one heart. She closed the notebook and cried silently, her tears falling like rain on fragile ink. Days passed, with Emma reading pieces of the notebook each night, but the weight inside her didn't disappear. One evening, a storm broke across the town. Rain hammered the roof. Lightning flashed like broken glass in the sky. Emma tried to calm herself, but the storm awakened her anxiety. Her breath grew sharp, fast. The air felt thin. She grabbed the hallway wall, her vision blurring. She whispered, "Mom, please." It was the worst panic attack she'd had since the funeral. When it finally passed, she sat, shaking on the floor. The storm moved on, but the storm inside her stayed. She realized something terrifying. She needed help. She couldn't survive in silence anymore. The next morning, the man with the blue scarf was on the bench again. "You look tired," he observed gently. "Storm," she muttered. He nodded with a knowing look. Storms have a way of shaking loose the feelings we try to hide. She sat beside him, surprising herself. "I found the notebook," she whispered. "My mom wrote it before she died." His expression softened. "Have you read it?" "Some. It hurts." "That means it matters," he said quietly. Emma stared at his scarf. "Why do you sit here every day?" He smiled sadly. "My wife used to sit here with me. She passed away 3 years ago." Emma's eyes stung. "I'm sorry." He nodded. "Talking about her keeps her close. Grief doesn't like silence. It wants to be spoken." His words wrapped around her like a blanket she didn't know she needed. That night, Emma sat at the dining table, opened the notebook to the last blank page, and began writing back. "Mom, I miss you so much. I feel lost. I'm scared. I don't know how to move without you." Her handwriting wobbled. Tears fell again, but for the first time they felt like release, not collapse. She wrote for nearly an hour, memories, fears, the things she wished she had said. When she stopped, her heart felt lighter, as if something locked inside her had finally shifted. She whispered, "I'm not alone. I'm not." Winter settled early. Frost coated the windows like silver paint. Emma walked to the library, bundled in her coat. The bench was empty today. But in the afternoon, the man with the blue scarf stepped inside the library, holding a small envelope. "This is for you," he said softly. She frowned. "What is it?" "A sketch." Emma opened it and gasped. It was her mother, drawn sitting peacefully in the garden. Her smile was gentle, alive. "She asked me to give it to you someday," he said. She didn't say when. "I suppose today felt right." Emma's tears came fast. "Thank you." "Love doesn't disappear," he said. "It changes shape." That night, she entered her mother's bedroom for the first time in months. The faint scent of lavender lingered. She hung the sketch on the wall, placed the notebook beneath it, and sat quietly. The silence felt different now, still present, but no longer heavy. She touched the sketch. "I'm going to be okay, Mom. Not today, not tomorrow, but someday." And for the first time, she believed her own words. Months passed. Emma joined a support group, started journaling again, and even led writing sessions for anxious teens at the library. Mr. Whitmore, the man with the blue scarf, eventually moved to live with his daughter. Before leaving, he told Emma, "You'll be fine. You've learned to speak your heart." And she had. One bright spring morning, Emma walked past the old bench. The air smelled of new leaves and distant rain. She paused, breathed deeply, and smiled. She wasn't healed completely. Healing wasn't a finish line. It was a path. But she was walking it. Finally. Bravely. Openly. She looked toward the sky and whispered, "Thank you." Then she stepped into the sunlight, a soft strength growing in her chest. A strength made of memory, courage, and the voice she had finally learned to use. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us create more inspiring stories every week.